We've just heard from Josh Windass, Player of the Month for February. What does it mean as a club for one of your players to be awarded such accolades?
It means that he's in form. It means that he's playing well. Albeit he has things he needs to work on and improve. It shows the steps that he's made recently, and I think it's richly deserved.
One of your other players this week, Declan John, has been named in Ryan Giggs' Welsh squad. Again, does this really show how far Rangers are coming as a club?
I think there's a few elements to that one. There's the element that you can come to Rangers and be recognised internationally. That's an important statement to make. There's the gamble that Declan took with his career to come here and stretch himself. He could have stayed where he was, but he wanted to come and test himself, and he deserves recognition for that as well. But also Declan sat with us earlier and said, now I want to get better. I want to use this as a springboard to improve. What do I need to do? Which for me as a developer of people and a manager of a young man, it is music to my ears, because he understands that he's not the finished article. He wants to improve, he wants to get better, and he understands that this is an environment where he can do that. One
of your other players, Candias, was awarded a new deal this week. There's a number of players in the last few weeks that have signed up. Does this show that everyone's in it for the long term and there's long term goals now here at Rangers?
The guys understand the vision that we have. They understand the journey that we're on to try and improve our lot and to get back to the top in this country. And they're on board. They want to be here. They wouldn't sign contracts of that length if they didn't want to. And we're delighted with the form that Daniel has shown throughout the season. We're delighted with the person that he is and the positives that he adds to the group. And for us, it was really a no-brainer to go to Daniel and ask him, do you want to be here longer term? And he didn't hesitate. He wanted to be here, which once again is a fantastic statement from him.
You've now had time to reflect on last week's defeat in the Old Firm game. What can you take from that game?
Lots of positives. Lots of positives on the distance that we've come, how much we've closed the gap, and just the fact that we're disappointed in the manner of our loss. It's the first time I've been in a stadium and experienced that level of desire and driving emotion to get us over the line. Everyone pulling together to try and be positive and help us get the result that we all wanted. And I've gone on record as saying that the sound after we scored our first goal after 3 minutes, I've never experienced anything like that before in my life. We want more days like that. We want more days where our fans come to the stadium in that atmosphere, with that positivity, with that drive to help us do well. And the better we perform on the football pitch, the more days they're going to get like that. So that's our driver. That's our positivity from that. But also I think we need to recognise the problems that we caused, albeit we didn't get the result we wanted. We showed some good play, some good high tempo stuff, some stuff where we're on the front foot, that we showed that we can cause the team that have dominated this country, we can cause them problems. We just need to do it more and hopefully get over the next stage, which is to get the result that we all want.
How close is that gap now between Celtic and Rangers?
It's close. I don't know how you quantify it, to be perfectly honest, but it's the first game, I believe, that has shown a significant interest in the Old Firm for a long while, and that's a measure not only of the rivalry between the clubs, but also the distance that we've come in a short period of time, albeit we're not what we will be by the end of the season. We're not what we want to be just yet, but we need to make sure that we take the positives and we move forward, because there was lots to take, and I think we can use that disappointment really to fuel the end of the season, because we know we're close, but the mood within the group is that we want to be closer.
What sort of reaction have you seen from the players throughout this week?
Initially they were quite low. Understandably, they were disappointed, which is only to be expected. But we've said to them it's about the next game. It's about making sure that disappointment doesn't carry on. Let's just take the positives and move forward, because it's important we go and pay Kilmarnock the respect they deserve, because they're a good team, they're in form at the moment. We can't afford to take a hangover into the game. We need to be at our best. We need to be front foot, we need to be aggressive, and we need to try and impose ourselves on the game. So the guys have taken that mindset into training this week, which has been really pleasing. But now we need to make sure that we go and execute, because it won't be an easy game tomorrow, but I believe it's a good game for us to really finish the season off on a high. We need to go and win this game.
Kilmarnock have taken 4 points from Rangers this season. How much do you look back at those games going into this one?
You can do that. You can look at it. We look at it because we want to understand what they did. We want to understand what we want to do better. But we can't afford to live in the past and say what if. We just need to make sure we finish the season off properly, and we do that starting tomorrow by going and being on the front foot and doing what we do and executing that at a really high level. If we go and do that, we put ourselves in a shape and a position to go and get a positive result.
What do you make of the job Steve Clarke has done since
He's been outstanding. I don't want it to be the Steve Clarke show, obviously, but he since he's come in, he's got a team that are playing for him. He's got a team that has belief. He's got a team that has structure, and the job that he's done has been, I think, encapsulated best by the atmosphere at his ground for Kilmarnock Aberdeen during the week. The atmosphere was great there, and I think Chris Boyd commented on it. The belief is there within the group. It's now growing within their fans, and I believe that's testament to the job that he has done. I obviously hope that we kind of derail it tomorrow and make sure that we don't get caught up in what they're doing. We just need to focus on us and make sure we send our fans home happy, not theirs.
Josh was in here earlier saying, he's now focusing on obviously in the game Saturday, but also on winning the Scottish Cup, so that you can bounce back from that defeat. Is it good that you've got that opportunity?
It is. The targets that we've set to the players are still there. The position that we looked at in the league, closing the gap in the league, pushing on and being competitive in every competition, potentially winning a cup, they are still there. We lost the game. It's important we draw a line under it and move forward. We can't continue to look back and say, what if? I've said that to the players this week. Draw a line under it, learn the lessons, move forward. So we move forward into a big game Saturday and hope to get a positive result. We've planned to get a positive result. The players are ready, so it's up to us to execute. But draw a line under the next one, and we have the opportunity still to realise some really good things this season.
Graeme, is there an update on David Bates at all? David
Bates suffered a significant injury. He's damaged ligaments in his ankle. He hasn't got a break in there, although there is significant bone bruising. I would suggest he's going to be a minimum of 6 weeks. And whilst it's a difficult one for him to take, and it's a very, very painful one, I think we should count our blessings, because given the mechanism of it and the freak nature of it, it could have been a lot worse. We're devastated for the young man, but relieved that it's not anything more significant.
How big a blow is that injury for Rangers? Because he's arguably been one of the standout performers that's come into the side.
He's a young man that kind of encapsulates our journey so far. He's come a long way in a short time. There's improvements to be made. There's areas of development for him, as there are for us as a group and as there are for us as a football club. And it could be a big loss for us. But as I always will say, it's an opportunity now for someone else to go on and continue David's really good work and push us forward, because we're going to need the whole squad between now and the end of the season. It's disappointing for David. It's up to the rest of the guys to take up the banner and move it forward and actually help him get over that disappointment by continuing the work that he's done.
David's obviously a contract in the summer. I don't know how far talks have gone along with him, but does this, he's not playing, give you an opportunity maybe to push them?
Talks are ongoing all the time. We've spoken about his contractual status. We've talked about his desires and his wants for his career aims. We just have to keep on reinforcing the positives of being here. But those discussions are ongoing behind the scenes. When we have resolutions in them, you guys will get to hear. But until that time, we like to keep our business in-house. What I will say is, I think it's reinforced this week with Bruno, with Declan, with Jason, with Russell, with Jamie Murphy, all getting into international squads, that you can actually realise some of your aims, if not most of your aims, at this football club. And this football club, the scale of this football club, should never ever be taken for granted. Albeit, there is money to be made, there are opportunities elsewhere, and I've no doubt that people's heads will be turned. But let's not downplay the fact that you can play for Rangers. The scale of this club should not be underestimated by anyone, either at this club or out with this group, because it's a fantastic stage for you to go and show your ability, which David has done. But you should never forget that this place here is something special.
Has there been any further talk of your position here? You've obviously got the job until the end of the season, but any indication whether it will be long term?
No, not at all. And I don't expect there to be anything about me. I expect to focus solely on the football until the end of the season. And if we complete our job to the highest possible level, then we'll have a discussion. I'm fully aware of the main driver in football being success. I'm desperate to be successful. I'm desperate for the group to be successful. And those aims are still available. All of them are still available to this group and to me personally.
Do you want this job long term?
Who wouldn't? I can't sit in front of a footballer and tell him how good this place is and how much you could actually accomplish while being here and not believe it as a manager or as a coach. This is a stunning place to work. It's a stunning place to come into every single day. And those that don't understand that probably haven't sat in this seat, probably haven't worked for this football club.
Can we just ask you on Lee Wallace? He played in the development game this week. How far away is he from?
He's getting closer. He still has work to do. He's moving towards where he needs to be. But let's not forget he's been out for a significant period. It's going to take a while for him to get where he needs to be and for us to be ready to unleash him. But he's getting closer and he's doing more and more and more, which is good for us. It's good for the group. And I think any manager will say the more better players you have, the more headaches you have, but the better it is for the group and the better for the collective. So we're happy that he's in the group. We just have to make sure that we're respectful of where he is currently in his journey to get back.
No other teams, Nicrory, Roster, Dorm still training, still.
They are close, but not quite close enough, unfortunately. Graeme played 45 minutes in the week, which was great for him. He understands that, once again, he suffered a significant injury. That hasn't really been talked about, and he had surgery on it, and we have to be really respectful of that injury in our rehab, and we have to be cautious initially with how much we give him to do, but he's progressing really well. We just have to make sure that we give him the appropriate challenge at the appropriate stage, and that goes the same for all those guys that are rehabbing.
How's Russell Martin?
Good. Trained today. You don't expect any more, surely. He's available to the squad.
Graeme, just quickly, sorry, just to go back if we can, Daniel Candeas, another player to commit his future to Rangers for that bit longer. How big an impact has he made? What have you made of him and his development?
When you come in every day early and he's here before you, because he needs to come in and get his nutrition right and he gets his prehab right and he trains at fantastic intensity and then he does his nutrition after the game and he makes sure that he comes on his days off. You start to understand the measure of the guy as a professional, and he is someone who lives how I want him to live. He extols the virtues of a very, very top professional, and I think that's been revealed in not only in his displays but also the intensity of his displays. Physically, he's been immense for us, and we're delighted with what he's done, and it was really a no-brainer for us to extend him.
How dangerous a player can he be when he starts to add those goals to his game? He's a fantastic assist record and he continues to develop.
They come in. As our game model continues to evolve, as it continues to improve, as we start to become better at it, everyone's going to become more of a threat. I think the front four in the last few games have been really potent, but it's our job to make sure that each individual player understands their role within the squad. And if Daniel were to add more games more goals to his game, I think we can all see it's really, really good business for us.